The team got started with dominant exhibition matches against Charleston and ECU, but lost some momentum with a draw against 10th-ranked Penn State. Caroline, let's talk about the Wisconsin draw at home. The Heels had a season-low 4 shots during the first half, one of which was a missed opportunity off of a connection between Tori Della Peruta and Mia Oliaro. I feel they were trying to regain the cleanliness they had last season that drove them to the national championship game. But in Game 4, they were still working on putting passes together that ended with the ball in the back of the net. Now let's talk about where the team stands. After those draws, the Heels have been trending upward and have had some really good performances. Defense has kept UNC's opponents in the middle of the field, not allowing them to mount any kind of attack. And what else is working in the Heels' favor? Head coach Anson Dorrance is entering his 45th season and has 25 players returning, including 9 starters. And they've added 7 true freshmen and 1 graduate transfer to their 2023 roster. UNC will continue to lean on the returners for leadership and look to the freshmen to provide depth and skill to this talented roster. The Heels begin ACC play Friday against Virginia Tech here at Dorrance Field. We'll be there watching the Tar Heels as they continue their campaign for their 23rd national title in 2023. The Tar Heels have moved up to 2nd in the country, and while that's amazing, fans are concerned about those 3 draws. The Heels are struggling to finish games offensively, and as I said on Monday's show, UNC's defense is keeping opponents in the middle of the field and not allowing them to score goals. But the Heels aren't scoring goals themselves. Against the Alabama Crimson Tide this past weekend in a top 15 matchup, the game ended in a draw of 1-1. And what did the Heels do wrong? They weren't able to finish in the attacking third when they had opportunities. When they cross midfield into the attacking third of the pitch, they haven't been successful at converting their shots into goals. During the Alabama game, the Heels took 18 shots, but they converted only 1 of those shots into a goal in the second half of the matchup. In the beginning of the first half, Sam Mezzo weaves through her defenders on the edge of the field and takes a shot at the goal, but that shot comes up just short, so that's a missed opportunity right away in the beginning of the game. Then, later on in the second half, we see Emily Moxley pass the ball to Tori Della Peruta, who takes a shot that flies over the bar, not anywhere near the back of the net. Again in the second half, Maddie Darlene passes the ball to Olivia Thomas, who kicks the ball high up into the air. That one flies over the bar too, and another missed opportunity. Then, in a crucial moment in the game, with only 4 minutes left, Allie Sentnor nearly had the go-ahead goal, but she took a shot that missed as the Bama keeper saves the goal. Now, the Heels will face off against Virginia Tech in a few hours. And I believe if the team can convert more of their shots into goals, that will be the missing piece they need to finish out games and turn those ties into wins. The Heels had a total of 17 shots in the game, while the Hokies had only 8. Carolina's dominant defense showed out once again by holding the Hokies to 0 shots in the final 45 minutes of the game, while the Heels had 13 in that time. While the defense was stellar, I believe the Heels offense played a very nervous game. They came out panicked to start in the first 10 minutes, and the offense we see here is very close to the goal. Emily Colton gets the ball, and she tries to take a shot to her teammates who are closer towards the middle of the goal, but the Hokies pass it back to Colton, and she takes a shot, but it goes wide left of the goal, so that's a missed opportunity right away in the first 10 minutes. Then, with 5 minutes left in the first half, the Heels have some great passes here offensively back and forth, but here we see Evelyn Shores gets the ball, and I think she panics here trying to score before the end of the first half, and she takes a shot which misses because the Hokies keeper grabs the ball. Then, in the 67th minute, Carolina finally got on the board with some offensive firepower. So here we see Emily Moxley takes a long strike to the goal, but the Hokies keeper, Aaliyah Skinner, she grabs the ball, but it slips from her gloves. Then it falls right in front of her, and Evelyn Shores sees that, and she takes the opportunity, and she takes a left-footed shot between the keeper's legs. And this puts them up for the first goal of the game and the 3rd of Shores' career. Now, this was great for the Heels because they finally had some sparks offensively rather than just defensively. However, following the goal, they still struggled to convert more shots to goals. With 8 minutes left, the Heels had another chance to extend their lead. So here we see Avery Patterson. She gets the ball, and she's approaching the goal But what she doesn't notice is that Allie Sentnor is right here. She's uncovered, and she has a clear shot at the goal. Patterson doesn't see that, so she keeps going, and she takes a shot, but that was a missed opportunity to put the game away. The Heels need to play smarter and pass the ball around more to different teammates who are in better positions to score. They have a chance to fix this issue Thursday when they travel to the University of Virginia, where they hope to remain undefeated and give UVA their first loss of the season. The now #1 Heels had a back-and-forth battle with #3 Florida State on Sunday at Dorrance Field. This game was a rematch of the NCAA tournament semifinals last year, so this was a must-watch game that didn't disappoint. The game ended in a 3-3 draw, but the Heels performed very well and fought throughout the game to keep their spot at the top of the national rankings. While the Heels still have some minor issues to fix to turn these draws into wins, the Heels had some amazing goals at crucial moments in the game to keep battling against FSU. With about 4 minutes left in the first half, Maddie Darlene gets the ball and uses her phenomenal footwork and speed to get closer to the goal. She takes a shot that deflects off the FSU goalie's foot, and Allie Sentnor is right there to put the ball in the upper right corner of the goal. Then, in the 77th minute, Bella Sember passes the ball to Evelyn Shores, who then finds Maddie Darlene to the left of the goal. Darlene takes a shot, and it ricochets off the post into the corner of the net for her first goal of the season and the Heels' second goal of the game. Then, with 5 minutes left, the Heels got the go-ahead goal with a beautiful service from Allie Sentnor to Kate Fossey, who is at the top of the 6-yard box, and she takes a volley that goes into the far post to put the Heels up. And the fans at Dorrance Field erupted, hoping the Heels were going to win this massive matchup. The Heels have gotten better at passing the ball to teammates who have a better opportunity to score. However, with 10 seconds left, Florida State's Amelia Van Zanten kicks the ball off of a corner kick and in the final seconds of the game and ends it with a 3-3 decision with only 2 seconds left. This was a heartbreaking end for a huge game for Carolina fans, but there is still so much to be excited about. The Heels head down the road to Raleigh to face the NC State Wolfpack tomorrow night, and I know I'll be watching. The Heels remain undefeated after beating the Wolfpack this weekend. The offense was on fire. The Heels had 4 goals from 4 different players. UNC came out strong. 4 minutes into the matchup, the Heels got a corner kick. And we see Emily Moxley pass the ball to Evelyn Shores, who heads the ball, and it hits the right post and goes into the back of the net. This was her 4th goal of the season. Carolina doubled its lead when Emily Moxley drives towards the goal and kicks the ball, but an NC State player is going to kick it back to UNC's Tori Della Peruta. She is going to take a massive shot from 25 yards out that hits the crossbar and goes in for the goal. The Heels came out hot again right at the start of the second half. There were not 1, not 2, but 6 NC State players right on Allie Sentnor, but that did not stop her from getting a goal. She takes a shot towards the center of the goal that goes in for the 3rd goal of the game. And this was her 3rd straight game with a goal. This clearly took all the energy out of the Wolfpack, and they seemed very tired the rest of the game. The 4th and final goal of the game came off a corner kick from Melina Rabimbas to Kate Fossey, who heads the ball, and it slips from the NC State goalie's gloves, and Kaylee Herr is right there to put it in the back of the net and give the Heels the lead 4-0. Following this big win, fans are excited for the Heels to come back to Dorrance Field this week when they face Miami on Thursday. The Heels are still undefeated, but they have moved down to #3 in the country after being #1 for 3 weeks. They are struggling to finish games out in the end and get wins rather than draws. We saw this happen in the Duke game this past Sunday when the Heels and Blue Devils tied with a score of 1-1. This matchup was a defensive battle. The score was 0-0 for 59 minutes. But UNC finally broke through when Emerson Elgin, she's going to pass the ball right here to Emily Colton at the top of the 18-yard box. And Colton is going to take advantage of this open space and fire off a shot that hits the crossbar and goes into the side netting for a goal. Now, 20 minutes later, Isabel Cox drew a foul inside the box that awarded Carolina a penalty kick. Now I'm going to show you where the Heels had a big missed opportunity to put them up 2-0 and possibly put the game away. Avery Patterson here is going to take the penalty kick. She kicks the ball to the right side of the goal, but the Blue Devils goalie, Leah Freeman, she instantly grabs the ball. I think Freeman just read the kick very well and immediately knew where to go. After this, the Heels have another chance to get the lead. With 4 minutes left, Evelyn Shores is going to kick the ball to Mia Oliaro, who is going to head the ball, but it slides right past the goal. So that's a missed opportunity right away. Then, with 1 minute remaining, the Blue Devils gained possession and they drove down the field. And Kat Rader, she's going to take a massive shot at the goal that just goes right into the back of the net. UNC goalie Emmy Allen just didn't even see this goal coming and it went flying past her. This ended the match in a 1-1 draw with 1 minute remaining. If the Heels want to make it far in the postseason, they have to take advantage of opportunities to get more points early on in games and continue fighting until the clock ticks down to 0. Although the Heels tied 1-1 with Wake Forest on Friday, there's no doubt that UNC has a deep roster with phenomenal players both offensively and defensively. Avery Patterson was, of course, a difference maker in the matchup against the Demon Deacons. Patterson is now tied with Allie Sentnor for the team lead with 5 goals. Patterson scored the Heels' only goal against Wake in the 59th minute. Allie Sentnor sent a corner kick to Emily Moxley, who passes the ball to Patterson inside the box after weaving through her defenders. Patterson is going to win this 1v1 battle with Wake's goalkeeper, sending a left-footed shot into the back of the net. Patterson is always aggressive, and she's not afraid to be in high-pressure situations. She's also stepped up in some other big matchups. Against 12th-ranked Alabama, Patterson gave UNC the lead when she takes this nearly 80-yard run down the field, separating from her defender. And she fires off a left-footed shot that goes into the post for a goal. Like the Wake Forest game, there were plenty of shots early on in this game, but Patterson was the only one to get it done for the Heels. In the game against 10th-ranked South Carolina, Patterson put the Heels on the board early in the first 5 minutes of the matchup. Maddie Darlene showcased her stellar footwork to weave around her defenders, and she's going to send a cross from the right side to Patterson inside the box, and Patterson is going to volley it into the lower left corner for a goal. As you can see, she was close to the goalie again in this game and wasn't afraid to take a shot. I think players like Patterson are going to have to step up in their upcoming matchup against number 11 Notre Dame on Thursday, right here at Dorrance Field. Coming off a tie with 12th-ranked Notre Dame and a big win against Syracuse, the Heels are now 10-0-7 and sitting at number 3 in the country. The theme of this season has been ties, ties, and more ties. The Heels are getting plenty of shots on goal and corner kicks each game, but at times they're struggling to finish games. However, yesterday was a great confidence booster for the Heels moving into their last regular season game and ACC tournament play. Yesterday, the Heels dominated the Orange. They scored 6 goals, which is the most scored since 2021. The Heels also had a season-high 42 shots compared to the Orange's 3 shots, and 19 shots on goal. Carolina had a shot every 2 minutes and 10 seconds and a shot on goal every 4 minutes and 45 seconds. The Heels also had a total of 15 corners. These numbers are insane. I've never seen these numbers in a game before. Some players who continue to step up for the offense are Avery Patterson and Maddie Darlene. This isn't surprising for Tar Heel fans. I've been talking about them all season long. And as I said last Monday, Patterson, she's a difference maker. She leads the team with 8 goals and 18 points. 2 of those goals were in the thrashing of Syracuse. And Darlene led all players yesterday with 9 shots. Now, moving to the defense, I think Savvy King and Sam Meza have been the difference makers. Meza even scored a goal herself yesterday. The Heels now look to Boston College as they travel up to Massachusetts on Thursday night. Boston College is 3-9-4, and they haven't won a match against an ACC opponent this season. So the Heels are looking for a win against the Eagles. After the Boston College game last night, the Heels are 10-0-8. I've sounded like a broken record all season, but the fatal flaw of this team is we keep ending games in draws. This season marks the most draws in program history. Despite the ties, this team has elite players and a team that can be dominant on both sides of the ball. On offense, Avery Patterson leads the way with 8 goals and 18 points. but it's been Ali Sentnor who has dominated the stat sheet with the most assists, shots, and game-winning goals for the team. Carolina's roster has depth with 16 players on the roster with a goal. Another success story for the Heels has been the freshman. On the stat sheet, Evelyn Shores has led the way with 4 goals and 3 assists on the season. FSU was the Heels' toughest opponent. Earlier this season, they battled it out in a 3-3 tie when FSU scored off a corner kick in the last 10 seconds. The Noles are also undefeated and have won the ACC tournament the past 3 years. It'll be a showdown, but we've got to make it past Pitt first.